am totally back again. And it's the same day. This is just another episode. This is part number 3 for the day. Wednesday, September 11th. It's sunny, clear skies. You can see the aircraft coming down from 34,000 feet, coming into Long Beach and coming into LAX, Orange County, even Compton. It's 77 degrees. It don't win a little bit more. Yes, indeed. It's 77 degrees Fahrenheit right now, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I've been telling y'all. Yes. It's just. I've been telling y'all, 16 minutes. Let me get right here, ladies and gentlemen, so y'all can see this while I'm recording in my studio right now. All right. Okay. Now I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry for that inconvenience, but it's my broadcast. And it's my ass. I'm sorry for just saying that there too, but I would like to just get you guys updated because I was telling you about the book, another good book that I enjoy called Mandingo Drum. I'm going to give you a little bit of my archives right now and tell you how I keep a sound-minded body. Let me tell you, living in Long Beach, living up here in the LA County area, living anywhere in the Southern California area, you have family and friends that's down south or back east. They always talk about Hollywood. So let me give you a good book. And this has got to do with anyone that's of African descent. And this is even for some actors and actresses, musicians, artists, musicians. This book here is a great addition to have, and you'll love it. Can you see it? Okay. Can you guys see that there? I'll read it to you, okay? This book right here is called How the Jews Invented Hollywood, an Empire of Their Own. And it tells you exactly about the racism and how black folks brought Hollywood back. And we're still being mistreated. I have a guy here. This is another one of my archives right here, ladies and gentlemen. This book here is by Langston Hughes. It's called Not Without Laughter. This is a good book to read. This is a good book to read. I tell you, the way he spelled the words in here, from being down in the poor South or just being poor in America, in Oklahoma, down south, California, New York. Yeah, you see it? It says, Not Without Laughter. It's called Langston Hughes, and it's humorous, very humorous. Sam Greenlee, the spook who sat beside the door. That's another good one. If you just want to have your own archives to read to your family and everybody, you know. It's a blend of James Broadley with wit and rage. An important original nitty-gritty book. And Dick Gregory said that. And it says deadly on Newsweek. They're giving it everything. And then the New York Times, the Times said, blends James Bond Broadly with wit and rage. And Dick Gregory says that, and we're going to give it up for Dick Gregory too. And Dick Gregory said an important original nitty-gritty book. Yes, Langston Hughes, the spook who sat beside the door. Yes, indeed. And the one before that there was Not Without Laughter. See that? Yeah, it's called Not Without Laughter. And this is humorous. It'll have you laughing. It'll have you crying. It'll really touch your soul and your spirit. Let me give you another one. This one here. Let me see how many pages is in this one here. This one has 715 pages. Let's give it up for the late, great the great relic. Langston Hughes. This is another good one. Yeah. This is what I enjoy having in the house because I don't care what page you pick up. You want poetry, you want, and everything. I mean, man, this dude here, 715 pages. You see how thick that is? Do you see that? Yes, indeed. This is Langston Hughes. The collected poems of Langston Hughes. Langston Hughes is a tiny figure of the 20th century American literature, a powerful interpreter of the American experience. His poems are as vital as ever. The Philadelphia Inquirer. Yes, indeed. You have to go and get this one here. This one here I paid $21 for, you know. But if you just like to have relics laying around the house, Mr. Langston Hughes. Mr. Langston Hughes, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for him. And I got another one right here. I'm just giving you just a little bit of glimpse of my library, you know. I wish I had the things that Cleopatra had in hers, but Constantine and them guys burnt up a lot of that stuff, and the Romans and the Greeks. This is a good one right here. You got to get this here. You see that right there? Oh, man. Let me just put it a little bit closer for you. You got to get this book right here. This book right here. Yes, indeed. I love it. This book right here by Barbara O'Neill, Natural Remedies, 4 books in 1, complete collection. Over 500 pages of natural healing, wisdom, and herbal remedies to sustain your journey and holistic health and optimal well-being. Yes, indeed. Bonus 900 recipes and of herbs and stuff like that there. So if you don't want to be dealing with pharmaceutical medicine and stuff like this, hey, get this book right here, y'all. You got to get this book right here. Let me turn it this way. Maybe you can see it as well. But you got to get it. You know, like Marvin Gaye said, you got to get it on. You got to get it. And this is just a glimpse of my library, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. I gave you just a glimpse of my library. So when you hear me on here, and I'm using so-called foul language, that's just me as well. But I love literature. And I love the literature that has meaning to me and for my family, and for you, and all of you. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I even have some stuff on Dick Gregory. Oh, boy. I mean, I got some stuff. But it's only for my personal consumption and my family personal consumption. And like I said, that last book about the remedies, yes, that's 4 books in 1. So if you want natural, it's the same thing that Dr. Sebi was saying. But see, they took a lot of stuff out of Dr. Sebi's book, put it in here. They put it in her book. She's still living though. Ain't that something? You know what they did to Dr. Sebi, the pharmaceutical company. They said, we can't let this man bankrupt us. But all we got to do, like my generation and those who's in the generation before me, and those who still around in generations before me, 3 or 4 generations that's still here in front of me, my generation, is to pass this stuff on down to the youth. You know, pass it on down. But guess what? When they change this currency, you're going to be going to somebody's backyard, if not your own, to pick out stuff. Yeah. Did you know, like, dandelions? Did you know that is just as powerful as morphine? Mm-hmm. Think about it, man. About grandmothers and great-grandmothers and great-great-grandmothers. Shoot. Remember the buttercups? Remember the fields growing up? All those back in Buffalo, New York, everyone nationwide in America. That's in my generation, older and older and older and older and older and so much older. Buttercups. You remember that, Dad? You remember them things we used to pick up out the field? We blow them and they just fly all over. When they get on you, ladies and gentlemen, we got 10 minutes going on 30 seconds into this live stream with Uncle Floyd. This is the Gift of Gab with Uncle Floyd. Yes, it is. It ain't nobody but Uncle Floyd right here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just trying to bring it to you. I spoke last month on books to get, and I was boasting about my Negro drum, and I just didn't want y'all to think that that was the only piece of literature that my family and I have in our bookcase, in our private library. We don't have comic books. And another thing, quit giving your little girls, your little grandbabies, your little nieces, quit giving them baby dolls to play with. You know, let them go in the kitchen with you. And give them a wooden spoon and have them stir up stuff. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I say quit giving them baby dolls is you condition them to when they get out of high school or get to 15 years old, or when they become sexual active, their primary function here on earth is just to have kids. You know, it's so much more for the black female, young and old. And you black females, I love you so dearly. Put your happiness right there above getting your degrees. Because the majority of black women that have all these degrees, they lonely. They ain't got no man. Majority of them ain't got no kids. And they dry. They end up living and dying an old maid. And you know an old maid, right? That's a deter. How do you pronounce that word? It's negative. Yeah. Somebody that they call an old maid, right? And don't have any kids. You know, the old lady lived in the shoe that had so many kids that she knew what to do. Respected more than the old maid. Cause old maid just nag, and always in somebody's business. Cause she ain't got no business. She don't have no business whatsoever. And you old grumpy old men putting your degrees and all that before having a family. And you let so much time go by, you old men, grumpy old men, and you old maids. And then your eggs, and then your semen, your sperm start to weaken, and you decide you want to have a baby, and then your baby come out retarded. I'm not saying Down syndrome, because I'm the same thing as retardation, and I'm not saying that in a defamatory way. Because when we was growing up, we was taught and we said it cut and dried like it is. So you're supposed to have your kids in a timely fashion, in a timely manner, because ain't no man like Abraham, and there ain't no woman just like Sarah. Ain't no man and woman just like Sarah or Abraham. Because see, Sarah had Isaac when she was 100 or more. And Abraham had Ishmael and Isaac when he was up in age. And their eggs and sperm was just as potent as when they was in their youth. Yes. And you know why they lived, Methuselah lived to be 1,000 years old, right? And people lived a long life back then in the Old Testament. If you don't know, I'm about to tell you. You see, in the beginning of creation of this planet that we call Earth, and then you see the lesser light out there, but the greater light, the sun, and the lesser light, the moon, was a lot closer. They was a lot closer. So that means that the days, the 24-hour period was a lot shorter. And that's why they lived to be and live a long life, healthy life, up in the hundreds of years. Bet you didn't know that, did you? And I know, because you hear it for the first time, there's nah. When we hear something that we ain't heard before, we always say nah. Just like people from different cultures around this planet Earth, the Garden of Eden, that eat this, and because we just eat soul food, we say, well, that there nasty, nah, and they ain't even tried it. Because over there they eat chitlins just like we eat chitlins, but then they eat everything else, or almost everything else, that the gods that we made in their image created for us to have nutrition. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to get off out of here. I got to get out of here at the same time, but I wanted to let you have a glimpse of my family and our library. The great relic Langston Hughes, and the spook who sat beside the door, and how the Jews invented Hollywood. Oh man, this will blow your mind. Yeah, it talks about us. This is how the Jews invented Hollywood, and then when that reign was over, no more money was being made, the cinemas came. Yes. And you know how they say when you die, that's the only way you can become a saint? Yes, indeed. That black movie director that made over 150 something films. And everybody want to get on that podium and thank Harvey Weinstein and his brothers and the people that made Star Wars and all that kind of stuff there. And they giving them that black man statue. They gave the statue the black man's name, first name, but won't give him the last name. Yeah. The black director, his name was Oscar. Look it up. You'll see his last name. And that's what that statue is about. Hollywood's most prestigious award. And you know what prestige means. This old French word. It came into existence in the year 1656. That's like the 17th century. And it means to deceive. It means to lie. It means to perform a magic trick or an illusion. That's what prestige means. So even in the book of Proverbs, it says, beware, be careful when people invite you out to the Oscars, in other words. But it says a lavish dinner or black, in other words, like a black or white or royalty event. And you know you don't have no business there. You ain't even asking why they invited you. And you eat all that good food and drink all that, them good libations, champagne, wine, Hennessy, vodka, beer. And you get so full and stuff, and they see your eyes is bigger than your head, and then they hit you with a true motive for inviting you. They want you to lie for them or do this or do that for them. So the book of Proverbs said, be careful when somebody invites you for something, a lavish meal, because it just might turn sour in your stomach. And here we go again, ladies and gentlemen. Here's another good one out of that relic, Langston Hughes. You got to get the Langston Hughes. Anybody that know about Langston Hughes? Clap your hands. Stomp your feet. Make a little noise. And you want wellness? Yes, indeed. Dr. Sebi. Yes, Barbara O'Neill. They let her stay alive. They say you can write down these ingredients. You can't do like that man, Dr. Sebi. Cure them. Let them cure themselves. Yes, indeed. Like I said, Barbara O'Neill, Natural Remedies, 4 books in 1, complete collection, over 500 pages of natural healing wisdom and herbal remedies to sustain your journey in health and optimal well-being, over 900 bonus recipes. You got to get this here. The times is going to get harder before they get better, especially when they change that currency. Yep. Once again, another one from Langston Hughes. It's called Not Without Laughter. Yes, indeed. You got to get it. In the United States, this book is $16 and it's $22 in Canada. Yes, it is. Come on, support our people. Langston Hughes. Yes, indeed. Sam Greenlee, the spook who sat beside the door. It's an old saying, every eye ain't sleep. Yes, indeed. Every eye ain't sleep. Yep, every ear do hear. So like they say, sometimes it's best to let people know that you don't know nothing so you can know something. One more again. How the Jews invented Hollywood, an empire of their own. You got to get this book here. You got to. This book in the United States, $20. In Canada, is $27. I know you're a more than $20 person. Do it for yourself if you don't do it for nobody else. All right, signing off. This is the Gift of Gab. Oh, man. This is the Gift of Gab with Uncle Floyd, and I am Uncle Floyd. We coming up upon 23 minutes into this live stream. Yes, into this live stream. All right. Love you all. Just want to give you a glimpse of the Gift of Gab with Uncle Floyd and a glimpse of the Livingston family's library. All right. Let me tell you a little something. I went out with my Brooks Brothers suit on the other day, and I went in my closet and pulled out a couple of bogus cashier's checks. They was made out for $1,400, you know. So I was sitting down having a couple of drinks at this bar and grill, this jazz club. A young lady come up to me and I give her a couple of drinks. She said, "Hey, let's go to my hotel. They got a nice lounge." So we go to her hotel. I buy her 3 or 4 drinks. Yes, I did. And she said, no, and then I told her, "How about this?" She said, "Well, let's go back to your room and I'll give you $1,000 for 2 hours at a time." She said, "Well, let's go." We get on the elevator. We get to her hotel room. She about to stick a key in the door. I pat my pocket and pull out that bogus cashier's check. I said, "I got to go down there to the lobby and cash this check." She said, "This time of day ain't nobody gonna be cashing no check for you." I said, "Listen, young lady," I said, "this hotel you staying in?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "I own 35% of this hotel." She said, "Let me see that check." She looked at that bogus check. She said, "Why don't you just sign it over to me, because this check is real?" I said, "You must be out your cotton picking mine." I said, "That check is made out for $1,400. We agreed upon $1,000. So we go in her hotel room. I signed the check over to her. She give me $400. I'm laughing going out the door. She don't realize she just paid me $400 for her time. This is the Gift of Gab with Uncle Floyd, and I'm Uncle Floyd. And don't forget, Book of Proverbs said that laughter is the best medicine for any man, woman, boy, and girl.